How's it going, everyone? Nathan's MRE. Today we're back with another French ration. This particular one is one of the newest menus. This is a pork, rice, and pineapple cassoulet, sausages, duck, and beans. And this has the deer pate. So it should be very interesting. This is produced January 7th, 2019. Expiration is June 29th, 2022. Alright, so without any further ado, let's go ahead and... I can't even flip this one, it's so short. Cut that baby open. And even I'm curious to see what's going on in here. We'll do it the same wrong way. Did the last one. Hope you guys enjoyed the last one. The last one is very delightful. And a very awesome ration. I expect this to be no different, to be honest with you. The French stuff is just knocked out of the park. Oh, I thought we got the old fish soup, but this is actually the leek soup. This is actually not that bad. I've had that before. Chocolate muesli, always a crowd pleaser. Got some plum jam. We have the same mango tea. It was okay. It wasn't great by any means. Here's the old duck sausage. Should be very interesting. Looks like I had some sausage links, some chunks of meat, and some beans. And here's our pork and rice dish. Interesting. Product of France, obviously. Have our accessory pack. Ooh, got some damage. Not too bad. Got some chocolate. I think this is chocolate pudding. Got a little road rash on it, but it should turn out all right. Pretty tough can. We got our coffee commando bar. Got our fruit pate bar. Our TP or napkins. Here's the deer pate. Interesting. I have not had these kind of crackers before. I've never seen these before. These are the campaign biscuits. These look a little bit different. I wonder to see if they're still going to have the same 3 flavors. Looks like possibly. Interesting. Have our nougat bar. Have our Nora chocolate bar, 70%. 70%. This is a new one here. And this is an apricot bar. Interesting. Or at least so it says. We have our little stove with a little spork. That's it, my friends. Alright, let's see what it's all about. First things first, the pork and rice. Looks interesting. Man, smells awesome. Definitely got some curry, like some sweet curry or something in that. A nice blend of spices. It has some peppers. There's the old duck sausage. There you go. It smells almost like it's like pork and beans, as you will, with sausages in it. Let's heat those up. We'll be right back with the rest of the stuff. Okay. And some of you guys said last time, why do you always do all the drinks? It's stupid. We don't want to see that. It's always the same stuff. So, maybe we won't do all the drinks this time. I got to try not to cut the package, inner package open with this bad boy. I think we're going to do is we're going to leave the tea and coffee out. Oh no! Well, rip that one open. Maybe we'll go and fix one of the coffees. We'll leave the tea out. It's always the same tea. So we'll leave that out this time. Sugar, salt, and pepper. But I definitely want to do this. And that's the hot cocoa. That's always a crowd pleaser right there. Okay, here the kettle heating up. Let's go ahead and get it put together here. Alright, so we adjust the camera a little bit to linear. We also put the external microphones on. Last time I noticed I make any kind of crackling noise, the internal mics in the camera are cut. I'm not down with that. Try to have the best experience for you guys. Here is our Chicago mug. We're going to go and rip this guy open and dump it out in there. There we go. Nice dark chocolate. Let's go and blast some little hot water in there. We'll leave it pretty thick here. Well, I think it actually calls for like 400 or 500 mil. Leave it about right there. Come back to that here in 1 second. Give that a little stir. And since we ripped this coffee open, let's go and fix a packet of the coffee. There we go, nice freeze dried. Nice mild brew, nice mild smell to it. There we go. And the leek soup. Got our measuring cup for that. I'm pretty sure this is 500 mil. No, it actually says 250 mil. Interesting. So we'll go and do half this measuring cup full. All the powder is crunched at the top of this. And the French have some of the most interesting soups, whether it's leek, fish, or the mushroom soup. And it's always like a real wet looking powder. That smells mega oniony. I'll go ahead and blast about 250 in that bad boy. About right there. I'll come back and stir that. I think our mains are done also. Alright, so real quick, let's fix a little bit of tea up so we have a cold drink at least. About half of this in a glass. Oh geez, come on. All right there, I'd say. Kind of a mess, but that's all right. All right there. A quick little stir. We got one more thing to do yet, is make this bad boy up, then we're ready to start. Ready to go. Chocolate muesli. This is actually my favorite muesli from my favorite country. My favorite muesli from my, not my favorite country, but my favorite country as far as muesli goes. I would say that's pretty dang close right there. Little stir. That's about the perfect amount of water, and it's hot, so we're gonna have some nice chocolate milk. A lot of people tell me all the time, is like, oh man, how do you eat cold or hot muesli? What's wrong with you? I say, how the hell do you eat cold muesli? What's wrong with you? That's what I have to say about that. All right, let's get the mains. All right, so I think we're ready. The mains are way too hot to put on this tray. The pork and rice is first, and you can definitely smell the curry in this bad boy. Look at the chunks of meat. It's like a real fine grain, almost like a Mexican rice. And it has a nice sweet curry smell. I'm not really sure how to describe curry if you haven't had it before. I mean, obviously there's so many different kinds. This is more of a yellow. But very interesting at least. This thing is so freaking hot. I can't touch it. I'm just going to slide it onto this other hot pad. and some of the struggles of being a ration reviewer. Get off of there. The duck sausage. That looks like a... Well, this is a family show, so we won't say. Like a big chunk of meat. Some of our beans. We'll just cut the sausage in half. Chunk of meat. That's interesting. That's very interesting, actually. I'm quite looking forward to that one. About half will do on that. I'm going to shuffle this stuff over just a smidge. We'll leave that there, possibly. And I already got our spoon in it. Let's go ahead and try it. I guess, I'm not sure if the sausage itself is duck, but I know the big chunks of meat are. I can tell by looking at it. So it's almost like the beans almost like a lima bean, kind of. I'm not really sure. The same beans I had last time, too, in that dish. Look at that. Actually, I think it was a Russian one I had last time I had those beans in it. The big sausage is actually drier. I think it might actually be duck. This is 100% duck. And it's such a rarity here in the States to get this. It's very lean meat. Almost like venison, you might say. Very nice texture. It's almost like a bean and duck stew at this point. It's slightly beefy, but there is no beef in it, as far as I could tell, but then it has a kind of edge of sweetness to it. Next up, the pork and rice. Get a couple pieces of this. It looks fairly dry, like it's probably white meat pork. And it is actually very dry. Like a pork loin or something of that sort. The tea's a little better this time. Makes it a little bit thicker, maybe. But man, that pork is hard to get down. The flavor of it's awesome. It's just too dry. See the red peppers in it? The curry taste is absolutely perfect. It's not real heavy. It's just like a nice, like a sweet yellow curry. Man. Absolute outstanding meal. Okay, next up. I think we're gonna get the old deer pate out. I've had this in an older ration before. It's been many years. There we are. There we are. And they also have wild boar pate too. I'm not sure if this has the cognac in it or not. The boar does. Yep, it has the cognac in it also. I guess it's something to combat the wild game taste. A lot of people may not be into that. And that gives like a nice, almost like a nice gravy to it. We're gonna get a piece of that on one of these crackers. Are the crackers the same? Cereal, salt, chocolate. They're the same, but they look totally different, right? Look at the chunks in that. We'll set one of those out. We'll get one of the salted crackers out for some of this deer pate. We'll get a scoop on that. Should be interesting. Almost dropped that bad boy. Did drop it. There we go. Minor damage inflicted. Knocking everything over. It almost makes a sauce with the cognac in it. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It's just like the boar pate. Except whenever you drink the boar, or you eat the boar pate, you know it's wild boar. There's no question about any of that. This stuff here's got some lumps in her, boys. I've been stirring it, and we got most of them out now. Well, we got some of them out now. Well, I don't want a whole mouthful of that, right? It does look kind of like pea soup at this point. It's definitely the leek soup, though. It's actually surprisingly mild. What do you think it would be? It's actually very mild. But it's also very thick. Drop some on the floor, too. You gotta think, if you're out on a cold winter's day, a hot, thick soup is exactly what you want, and some deer pate, and some hot muesli, and some hot tins of food. This is basically a nice Sunday dinner at this point. Let's move right along here to our muesli. Our muesli is mixed perfectly. Look at that. That's perfect. Nice whole grain oats in it. That's a award winner right there. The most perfect muesli you ever want to even possibly try. Take a little sip of this coffee here after a quick stir. This coffee is actually very mild. It's not super acidic, it's not super crazy or anything. Very, very nice. Heading up the dessert portion of this operation. Couldn't bring it to my heart to dump this in the coffee and make a mocha out of it. It's such a nice chocolate. It's so semi-sweet. That's the way I like it. Another perfect 10 out of 10. The European hot cocoa is absolutely perfect. This has a lot of food in it. I'm going to steal this spoon, I believe, out of here. And we're going to open up this chocolate pudding. The chocolate pudding or chocolate cake? Chocolate pudding it is. And it looks very, very thin. We're going to go around the camera for this one. We'll take a bite of it here. Chocolate pudding tastes exactly like the hot cocoa. A little bit thicker. It seems to be the only difference on that. Man. So far, this has been a award-winning meal. The French definitely know how to do it. Next up, we'll break a little piece off of this coffee commando bar. Maybe. Super, super mild. You know, I don't like coffee, but that coffee commando bar is so mild that you wouldn't even really realize it was coffee. Pate bar. Blueberry and strawberry. Yep. A little bit on the tart side. Almost as tart as like currant, but it's not. Next up is going to be our apricot bar. Different manufacturer on this one. Some puffed rice in it. Nice, fresh, bold apricot taste. All these bars are very mild. The nougat bar, how does it smell first? A little weird. Not bad. Nice little nougat bar. It's not crazy sweet. Got a lot of fruit in it. Still though, it's 10 out of 10. It's a good bar. Comparable to the center of a candy bar. There's a chocolate, not bloomed at all. Ultra fresh, ultra dark. Very soft too. Chocolate's dark but not bitter. That's a nice trait to have. Dark chocolate is supposed to be actually very good for you. A little bit of our plum jam on our chocolate cracker here. No, don't cut it that far. It wasn't low enough. Camera's on 5%. That's awesome. It's our plum. Nice and red. Look at that. That is all for the brand new 24-hour French RCIR, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you soon.